We had 3 different cars disqualified from yesterday's race. Those cars were Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton. So let's break down exactly why they were disqualified from this week's Grand Prix. At the end of a race in Formula 1, cars undergo a process called scrutineering. Cars are randomly selected for this process, and the FIA checks to make sure that every car is within the technical requirements set forth by the FIA. One of the major specifications of this is the car weight. Before the race and after the race, cars are weighed to make sure that they hit those weight requirements. And the weight of the car includes the actual driver, their helmet, all of the gear that they wear, and weight requirements exist before and after the race. If a car comes in underweight after the end of the race, it is an automatic disqualification. This is what happened to both Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc this race. And while Alpine just put out a statement saying that they had been technically disqualified, we do know a little bit more about the situation with Ferrari. They put out a statement saying that Charles Leclerc came in 1 kilogram underweight, and that they believe that this was largely due to the fact that they ran a one-stop strategy. Because of this, tire degradation is going to be higher, you're going to leave more rubber on the track, and your car ultimately ends up being a little underweight. This was the same thing that happened with George Russell back in Spa, and pretty much the same argument. If you look at tires after a race, you will see how much they are degrading, and it can be that precise. Now, the situation that happened with Lewis Hamilton's car is a little bit different. Every Formula 1 car has something called a plank or a skid block. This is literally just a plank of wood that goes on the underside of the cars. And at the end of the race, these planks can only be degraded a certain amount. Lewis Hamilton's plank had been degraded 0.5 millimeters beyond the amount allowed. The purpose of this plank is to make sure that cars are not running too low to the ground. By being able to run lower to the ground than other cars, it allows them to run faster. And the point of the plank is that if you have degraded it too much, it means that your car was running too low to the ground. And if during the scrutineering process it is found that your plank degraded too much, it is again an automatic disqualification. Again, this is not the first time we have seen this happen. A few years ago at the 2023 Austin Grand Prix, both Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton were disqualified for the same reason. And that is how we ended up with this photo when they were both disqualified from P2 and P3. All of these little technical details do come together to make sure that it is a fair race. Because as much as Formula 1 is a race, it's also an engineering problem. And in order to make sure we are all solving the same engineering problem, everyone has to follow the same set of restrictions. It's always unfortunate when these things happen, but hopefully we will see Ferrari in particular make a change before Suzuka, given that this double DSQ puts them at the same point count as Williams.